So, how many survival months do you have? Better yet, do you know how to calculate survival months? Or do you even know what survival months are? Well, survival months are the number of months that you can live off your savings or your passive income without you being employed. How do you calculate them? You calculate your survival months by calculating your savings, the amount of savings that you have divided by your monthly expenditure. It is advised that you have at least 6 months worth of savings, so at least 6 survival months. Hi, I'm Leleti. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Here we talk about money and general lifestyle issues. Today we'll be talking about general wealth principles. They will be mixed. They'll be here and there. Nothing very specific, but just what to know than vis-a-vis what not to know. So it's better to have this information. It applies across board employment, business, all the aspects of wealth. It is important to note that everyone has their own definition and ideal, for that matter, perception of what wealth is. This is because my idea for wealth is not the same as yours. So maybe to me it could be having my own house, to another person it is having a car, another person is flying out of the country, another person wealth simply means being able to cater for their daily expenses. So there is no right or wrong answer when it comes to wealth definition, but it has to be an accumulation of assets and money coming in. There has to be some inflow of cash. So there is no amount, there is no specific number of this, but as I said, by just the other day, last week, I think, a person I regard very, very highly. I rate her highly, and she's, let's just say she knows what she's talking about when she says this. She told me that 5,000 saved is better than 5,000 spent. Well, I don't think they are truer words, but that is self-explanatory. Money saved is better than money spent. Money saved is better than money spent. That should be just the mantra. That should be the mantra for your money, for saving. Another one is that it is not what you earn, it is what you keep. So someone who earns 100k and saves 10,000, and someone who earns 30,000 and saves 10,000, they are equal. Like, this person may be, the quality of life is different, obviously, but what they are saving is, so basically that is the principle. It's not what you earn, it is how much of it that you keep. I'll just be reading through them because I'm lazy like that. Like, in today's video, I'll just read through them. Then there's your shopping habits. Like, keep track of your shopping, and it is advised, basically, generally it is advisable to shop in bulk. Then you can fill the gaps as you go. It will save you money. The other one is to learn the type of investor that you are. There are people that are can invest in very risky areas, and there are those that are like, they will run away from risk at all. It doesn't matter how much they'll be making, but as long as there's risk involved, that just cuts it. That is where they draw the line. So you should know your money habits and your personality in terms of money, because we all have different personalities. There are spenders, there are givers, there are savers. Did I say savers? Anyway, know your money personality and learn how to handle it, so that you are not too much of one thing and then you're suffering on the other hand. The other thing is, stop being intimidated by big numbers. Get accustomed to, like, just go online and look for projects that are capital intensive. They have projects that have taken lots of money, and accustom yourself to such amounts of money, like, so that when someone talks about 10 million, this project is worth 10 million, you're not just like, 10 million, and you're just backing out without even hearing the person out. And maybe the plan is, maybe it's you're investing off plan, and you have the, like in real estate, maybe you're investing off plan, and so you have time is on your side, so you can actually figure out a payment plan, or you can break that down. You can break the 10 million down to amounts that are easier for you to deal with, or amounts that you can easily access. So don't just be put off by the big numbers just because they have been mentioned. Like, just listen to the investment first, to the project being proposed, if it is someone proposing it to you, or if it is a venture that you're interested in taking. Don't just like talk yourself out of it just purely because of the capital. Like, if this is how much it requires, can I start with less than that? Or is it possible to get other people to invest it without necessarily taking shares, like getting ownership of it? Like, there are always other ways around it. So don't, like, just stop being intimidated first, then you'll figure it out. It's like when you panic and you have a problem, when you panic, then it becomes harder to solve the problem, rather than when you're relaxed and you can think, you are rational about the problem. You know, you acknowledge the problem. Yes, you're not being evasive, but you're being prudent all the way. You're being prudent. You're just here. You're being practical. You're practical, but not intimidated. Like, you're facing reality as it is. So you said 10 million. Okay, how long? Like, ask questions. Don't just be intimidated by big numbers. That's the point. The other one is maybe controversial, but the partner that you choose will determine your financial future. Well, to the better of it, to the betterment of it, or can make it worse. Let me not expound that on that one. But I am sure it's like the people, they say you're like an average of the 5 people that you hang out with. This person you're spending a lot of time with them, you're sharing dreams, you're sharing a life together. So they are going to influence how you invest your money, how you save your money, how you spend your money, how you make your money. So be wise of that. It will play a very big part. The other one is balance your assets, especially when you're nearing not just when you're approaching or nearing retirement, but all through. Balance your assets such that you're both liquid, and then you have the assets also that are not very liquid. So don't just be having land, and there's nothing liquid, such that when you need cash, you're not able to support your immediate needs, as in to cover your immediate needs. Like, be like when you're in retirement, you hear people are saying, yeah, there was that thread that was trending, that why are you sending money to your parents to live in a house that they already own? Well, that is because they may be asset wealthy, they have a lot of assets, but they're not liquid, so that they are almost miserable in that they cannot cover their immediate, they're not able to cover their day-to-day expenses. That's why now you have to support them, even if they already have land. That is why you should invest also in more liquid, like in retail business or in such. And when you're talking about, so always remember that cash is king, and there are areas that you can always take advantage of cash. Like, when you have cash with you, like when you're buying cash for assets like land, houses, cars, or even when you're depositing your money in a fixed deposit account, always negotiate. Like, people negotiate for medicine in the pharmacies, in the chemists, meaning that you can negotiate for anything. When you have cash with you, you have the upper hand. So negotiate for better rates in all areas. Like, what there was that can go wrong, like if they give you 8% and you ask for 10%, what they can do is they tell you, what, we cannot do 10%, but we can consider 9%. So the 9% is better than the 8%. So either way, it's a win-win situation. There's nothing you're losing by just trying. The other one is restructure your loans. I know of friends who have had loans with the banks. Maybe you have like 3 loans, a mortgage, a car loan, I don't know. You have several loans with the bank and you're in a circle. So I have seen these friends go to their circle and ask the bank to buy off their loans. And when they come to the circle, it is restructured and then they are able to pay. They even manage to pay sooner and with better rates than they would have paid with the banks, and at the same time they're still growing their shares, meaning it's like a burden taken off, because now this one is more flexible for them. They're like, how the little amount they're placing there, they were the one they were paying, and the amount that was getting lost in interest, that is not loss, is going to the principal, and so it's easier, and they pay the money in shorter periods of time. The other one is utilize the available resources around you instead of paying out of pocket. I was listening to another doctor in Nakuru. She was talking about how pharmacists or other stakeholders in the medicine, they produce like especially companies that produce medicine, they approach her to push their drugs. So before she was just doing it for free, but then she figured that these people can sponsor her trips outside the country. So now she does it for a free, or for a fee, but obviously there are terms to consider, there are things to consider, like conflict of interest. So once it aligns with something, like it's a medicine that really works, she pushes it for them, and then in return she gets trips out of the country paid and catered for. So it's a win-win situation for her, because she gets to save on the money that she would have paid. She gets the education and the exposure she needs by going outside the country, and she pushes a drug that she actually believes in. The other one is a bit controversial too, because it says that employment is an enemy to business prosperity. And it is said that people that are just in business, purely in business, stand a higher chance of succeeding than people who are employed and are running a business. This is because the person in a business, to them, the business is a side hustle. Yes, you may be saying that I'm building up this business so that I can get off this, I can retire from this, I can retire or resign from this, the main hustle. And that's what we even call it, a side hustle. Like it's almost an afterthought. It's not an afterthought, but you have a plan B. So you're like, if all fails, I have this. Sometimes the business is not even self-sufficient, so it is eating also on your income from your main employment. But the person who is not in employment is running that business like there's no tomorrow. Like it's the lifeline. If it fails, if it crashes, then their savings, everything is crushed, and they're putting their all in it because it has to work. So guys, those are the pointers that I had today on wealth and the principles around it and the takeaways from on wealth. Basically, simple chit chat on wealth. Thank you so much for watching, and I am wishing you money this year. See you on the next one.